My bad.
We can get my age.
Vice Chair, can you hear us? Okay, that's good. I'm the only one talking, so we just want to make sure it works. Okay, no one said anything, so we're good.
Are we recording?
We are, sir.
Okay, so we ready? Sandy, are we ready?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. It's 5:02. Can everybody stand for the invocation? Commissioner Duggan, give it, please.
If you remain standing, we need to remember those in Rio Doso and the flood in Las Vegas, the watershed and all of that. Lupe Zamora, my neighbor, 91, passed a couple of weeks ago, I suppose. She was married to Richard for 73 years, he said. And he's 93 himself now. And I don't know, they were just those people that when I travel to cities, people say, well, how is it where you are? And I always thought of Lupe Zamora and Betty Davis, my neighbor there also, but that they insist that you come in and eat with them, I mean, old world manners and just really good people. And Tina Griego, Rick and Lucy's, it'd be her sister, passed there. Let me talk. Anyway, Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity of having another day with us. And we pray that people incarcerated, that they may be healed, and those that are sick or in need or whatever, that they may be healed and comforted by you. And we pray for the law enforcement, for our soldiers, for the flooding and the fires and everything seems to be going wrong at the moment, but we are reminded that we have many blessings along our path, and be with this commission as we serve the people of Socorro County. Amen.
We'll do the pledge. Sheriff Lee, would you lead us, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The flag, state of Mexico, and the zealous and for friendship.
Roll call, Yeti, please.
Commissioner Avila,
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Chair Secretary,
Vice Chair Secretary, present.
thank you. Commissioner Duggan,
Yeah, here.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Here.
and Chair Martinez.
Present, ma'am. Thank you, Betty. Approval of agenda. Commissioners, have you had a chance to review the agenda? Any changes? Any?
Make the motion for this agenda. I apologize. Mr. Chairman, really quick, I believe that you and I discussed yesterday that you wanted to add an emergency item.
Yes.
And it would be appropriate, considering that the governor has declared an emergency in the village of Ruidoso and the surrounding areas. So actually you don't have to declare the emergency, but you can add an emergency item to the agenda, which is, it's rare, but it's possible in this situation, if you would like to do so.
Well, let me explain to the commission the reason for it. When I was in Las Vegas and going to the conference, I had some fellow commissioners that are from there. they had to go back because there were fires. And I also have some friends that are over there working, fighting the fires, and a son. They tell me it's horrible. You know, a lot of people lost their homes. No telling how long that area is going to be that way, or when they're going to rebuild, or what's going to happen. I got some emails from the locals here, Puerto Seguro and other ones, they're asking for donations to be able to help to continue supplying stuff to the people in need. They're housing people currently here in Socorro that moved from there that had to leave. That's going to be a long term. It's not going to be short. And like everybody else, everybody is struggling. Many people are struggling to make ends meet. Right now, several people there need help. They need our help. And like I told Adrian, told Sammy, our interim, send them an email. Socorro has always helped. Socorro has always helped when there's a need. So I asked Adrian, Sammy, if we could put it on the agenda for the commission to consider donating whatever we could to a state agency so it would be legal instead of to individual people. So, and I asked Gail to be here and to give a presentation. She's done a lot. She's collected a lot of stuff, and I don't know who's helped her, but I called her right away that day to see what we were doing to assist her, and I told her, let's do whatever we can. She was in the ball, and
Mr. Chairman, if you could speak into your mic just because for Commissioner Secretary.
oh, I'm sorry. And if I may, I'd like for Gail to give a report now to see so everybody knows before everybody leaves, so they know what you've done, what's the status of the help, and who do you recommend if we do decide to donate to who.
Commissioner Chad, Gail Trips, Socorro County Emergency Manager. So we, the phone call came in, well, I didn't get a phone call, I actually called the state EOC at 11 o'clock on Monday night to ask them if they were actually evacuating. They evacuated everybody to the east side of Roswell. So Tuesday morning, we got word that we had evacuees in town. I contacted Mayor Oscar and we got the shelter open. We also got the Secretary. So we opened the human shelter here, and then the state EOC had recognized that they needed cots over in Roswell for the shelters they were setting up. So we deployed one of our human shelters that's full of pods, which is 25 cots in each one, 8 of them is a trailer. So we deployed one of those. We deployed our small animal shelter trailer to the National Guard, or actually to the fairgrounds in Roswell. So then we opened up a donation site at Summerman Hall. So all of this was launched by 1 o'clock on Tuesday. As we went, we had over 31 volunteers working our donation site, and we put in over 400 hours. I'm running on 82 hours right now for the 7 days. We had Shay from Puerto Seguro jump in. She worked, her and I were on the phone until 10 o'clock. Most of the night, trying to make sure we had coverage on everybody that was in town and asking for needs. She covered the hotels. She covered gas vouchers. She covered anything anybody came to her with. It was a lot of effort by a lot of people. So we were still operational. Saturday night, the Rosas came out to the donation site and volunteered a truck. They told me they would have it there at 8 o'clock on Monday morning. So I called the ranches. We got 5 girls from the ranches on Sunday, and we powered 26 pallets. So when the Rosas came in on Monday with the truck, we loaded out 23 pallets, and they went up today. They were all loaded at the church there. So we still have more to go. We're still working on it. That's my report. Any questions?
Questions from you?
Who is she? She worked so long in.
Shay from the Puerto
Oh,
Seguro.
Shay. Is that where you're housing them? Or where are they?
So they were in the hotels, and so like the Rosas, they had 4 families in their house. So a lot of these people were being housed.
They're placed in homes around?
Yeah.
You mentioned something shelter, I think.
Yeah, we had the family gym open. We never sheltered anybody there. There were donations taken there, and it was available to anybody that needed it that couldn't afford the hotels. But they all made it through with Shay actually supporting them and working on the hotels with vouchers and getting them reduced rates.
And who are the Rosas families?
Terry Rosas and Henry Rosas from Rosas Trucking. So they gave me a 53-foot trailer that actually went up to them.
Mr. Chairman, if I might.
Yes.
Gail,
Yes, sir.
I guess the question I think that the commission would ask would be if they were to donate county funds, and of course, it's always better to donate to a state agency. The anti-donation clause is pretty sticky.
Right.
Do you have a recommendation? Would you use it? Would you rather stay here for your operations? Would you rather go to a state agency or perhaps straight to the county of, or the city of Ruidoso or the county of Lincoln? I mean, what would your recommendation as the EM be for the commission?
After learning what Shay does, I would recommend Puerto Socorro, just because I know that I can rely on her in a heartbeat. Even if it's just a random person that we have here in the county that has a need, she steps up.
The issue is, unfortunately, under the Constitution, Puerto Seguro is a nonprofit agency, so it is not. We can't give it to Puerto Seguro unless it's for the sick and indigent, and unless we can meet those definitions, then we cannot. We can give it to a state or a state or another county or a municipality. That's just a limitation that we have.
Did she send you?
Attorney Nancy did mention that she could, in her department, do something. If we were to give money, we could give it to her department and she could, buy the water hose, whatever they need. I don't know.
Yes, certainly. We certainly can address it that way if we want to funnel it through your department. We just can't donate cash to a nonprofit. Unfortunately, on New Mexico law, a nonprofit is the same as Intel. It's there is no difference under the New Mexico Constitution. Strangely enough, that's just the way it works. That's just the way the law has become down. So it does have to be. It could be our own agency, and through our own efforts, absolutely to increase funding in that manner.
Okay. So yeah, we could donate directly through to the county of Lincoln.
I would.
Let me, if I may, first, the question I want to ask the commission, I asked Sammy, how much do we have that we could legally, financially be able to give them? That won't hurt us.
Chairman, Commissioners, my input on that would be to assess the need for the individuals within Socorro County and come up with a figure that requires the support, and then see if our coffers are adequate, because it might just be $5,000 they need to get them through, given, or it might be 15 to 20,000. We're not positive right now, but if we can assess the need and then make that transfer, that would be my recommendation.
And if that's the recommendation and what the commission would choose to do, then the item, of course, we still have to approve the agenda with adding the emergency, but then it would be just to direct the manager to allocate funds as she discovers to be appropriate after review, and within her spending limit, which I believe is 40,000.
What did you say?
Her spending limit is 40,000.
Yours is.
My signatory spending limit without directly to the board.
You can spend 80 just in 2 checks, right? Or
Not
no?
technically.
No. It was Chairman can say.
Absolutely, this commission could certainly do that.
And I just want to be clear that I heard this right. This isn't just for Socorro County residents, right?
I think the intent was to assist the people of Ruidoso who are in the need and may be housed in Socorro, County.
Okay.
And if it went on into people in Rio Losa and other, be all right. I think you mentioned that being that it's in the woods, insurance is very high, even if they have it, right?
Yeah, and somebody probably have
A lot of people don't have it because it was, I guess, high risk.
I have one more thing to say with the approval of the commission. Whatever we decide to give, if it comes out to 20,000 or 40, I would like to recommend that we leave 20,000 here with Gail, and the other 20,000 send it to the Commission of Lincoln or the city of Roswell. Because they are on site, they know what the need is. To me, my opinion, you see the mayor every day in the news. Leodoso, he's this and this, they're doing a lot at the commission there, so they would know the money would be available for them to use right away.
I think it'd be important to send to the source, absolutely.
Gail, do you happen to know how many families are housed here?
No, I don't have an actual number. I have some guesses. I know that about half of the hotels were evacuated, providing at least.
They what?
About half of the hotels were evacuees for 5 days.
How
Not
many?
just in the hotels. I know Bill Harris, I know the Rosas have families come in.
So half, that's a good, so I guess would be 40 families?
You good with the numbers, Joe, so give me a number.
All right. I think,
Yeah,
I think $40,000 isn't gonna go very far. Just because
I,
that ain't gonna get fixed pretty quick.
no,
And, you know, if they don't need it here, they find housing somewhere closer to home so they can get back on their feet, I think they should have a good time. So with that being said, I would make a recommendation. Sammy's gonna have a heart attack, but it's okay. That we, do an emergency declaration authorizing Sammy to research, and I don't know how to say all this the right way, but just research and get up to $100,000. He has the authority to authorize up to $100,000 if that's what's needed. And if it's less, then it's less, but
that's your motion.
that's my motion.
We'll first need to approve the agenda.
Yeah, we gotta approve the agenda.
We need to approve the agenda, adding an emergency item and then address that emergency item.
So I'll make the motion to approve the agenda, adding the emergency.
Motion by Commissioner Gonzalez. Second by Commissioner Aguilar.
Yeah.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now, motion by Commissioner Gonzalez.
You have to say it all over again.
Yes.
I make a motion, under the emergency situation that we authorize Sammy to look into how much it's costing for those people to relocate or house here or house wherever, whatever's needed, up to $100,000 without having to come back to the commission. One-time emergency up to $100,000.
And funnel it through,
Yeah,
yeah,
funnel it through the emergency manager's office.
I'll second that.
Okay, before we second it, on that motion, can we send so much to the commission, Lincoln?
Sure.
Are we?
I think you allow that in the discretion to, if they determine that it's necessary to maybe send it to, straight to Lincoln or Ruidoso, or on the other hand, maybe to state emergency management, whatever's the easiest way to funnel the money to where it's needed.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, she's got the boots on the ground. Let her make the decisions. That's just fine.
And I'll keep a report for you guys. I know where it's going.
I mean, she knows if the commission over there could use it, I'm sure they can. She can do that too, right? Through her office.
It'll have to go through her recommendation to Sammy as the manager.
Okay,
The manager's gonna be the only
I
one who
would
transfer
suggest-
funding.
the one in charge, the one boots on the ground.
Okay. So, say it again, Joe.
I thought we did. So under the one-time emergency declaration, that we authorize Sammy to allocate up to $100,000 for the purposes of helping out the residents of Lincoln County who have been displaced to Socorro County, but also to the commission of Lincoln County to use money accordingly for helping those people that are displaced from the fire and the flooding in Lincoln County. And with that, send it to, how do I say this? Counties that have more money and tell them to do the same.
Bernalillo,
Eddie County. They're friends, I know they're friends, yeah, so send them.
Other state agencies. And I'll second that. I did already.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Gonzalez, second by Commissioner Duggins. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First of all, thank you, Commissioners. Very, very appreciative and
Yeah,
very helpful.
If you've ever been in trouble when help comes, it's a good feeling.
in the spirit of competition, they're the warriors too, okay, but we're the real warriors. So,
Thank you, Commissioner.
Sammy, would you do me a favor and send an email to Joy, the Executive Director of the Associated Counties of all 33 counties, and advising her what we did, so that way maybe she'll send an email to the other 32 counties to see if there's any way to do the same.
And with that being said, I'm sure the other 32 counties want to help, but they just, maybe don't know how, you know, we just learn how to do it ourselves. Maybe that's it.
Thank you. Thank you again.
I just wouldn't say, maybe, you know me, I would just say,
Okay.
can you send, will you send an email out to the other county?
Well. Okay. We're ready to move on. Approval of minutes of June 11, 2024, regular meeting. Commissioners, do you have a chance to review the minutes? Yes.
Yes.
Carol was very clear, but the submissions in terms of the next day, this kind of right, so we're allowing Sandy to do a one-time research to another conference and to all our to go somewhat the same.
Funnel that money to Gail's department, and she will funnel it to either the county of Lincoln or other state agency that he feels needs the money. And also Sammy's gonna send an email to the Association of Counties, Joy, Executive Director, telling them what we did, so maybe the other counties will also pitch in, which I think they will.
Can she also report in regards to status of the I haven't been there for 2 days now, so in regards to the fire.
Yes, she gave a report of what she has done here in Socorro County. And she's still in the audience, so you're gonna be out of town for a while, and also, do you have access to your email?
Yes, I do have access to my email.
I will ask her to send you an email explaining what she's done and keep you posted on what she continues to do. She's done a real good job. Thank you, Vice Chair. Any more questions? Thank you. He's done, so I'll just keep. Okay. Need approval a motion to approve the minutes of June 11th.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins, second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the minutes of June 11, 2024 of the regular meeting are approved. Number 8, committee and department reports. Acknowledge department reports. We have, who wants to go first? We have Lee, Sheriff.
It's got a nice lead, Sheriff Lee.
Sheriff Lee.
It's pretty
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Again, how we start off, I don't have much to talk for 20 minutes, so. Really the only thing I have today is, me and Amanda, mostly Amanda, we were thinking about how we could help the county. And we happen to have a little bit of extra money in some of our budget, grants that we had. And we decided, we knew the jail really needed a vehicle. So what we're gonna do is out of some of the extra money that we have, or the extra money that we have, we're going to purchase a charger and have it used by the jail. So, because they needed one, that way the county, correct, right, was that what you? That means that the county itself doesn't have to come out of the county's budget for that vehicle, because you guys did approve, I think, a vehicle for the jail. This hopefully will save you guys at least a little bit of money on top of that, you know. You guys were, again, I can't say it enough, you guys were always helping us out. And we're constantly trying to think of ways that we can return the favor and help you out. Something that we felt we could do right for right now. So, other than that, I think it's a season where there's a lot of crashes, so be very careful on the roadways. We've been having, I can't tell you how many crashes, a couple a day at least. Again, it's a seasonal thing. About this time, everybody's on the road, everybody's on the road. Everybody's in there. We had one this morning, and we've been having one probably a day. So some really bad ones, some so bad. So just be careful when you guys are driving around. So, any questions?
Any questions, Commissioner?
Are you guys still short-handed?
We are. We just hired one guy. Oh, we did hire a gentleman. We'll have him up here, and we'll have him swear in pretty soon. And his name is Chad Winton. He's actually a veteran. He's been around for a few years. We're glad to have him. It seems like he's working out really well. It's his second week, and I'm excited to have him. We're working on some other people. Like I said, it's hard to get anybody with experience to come to anywhere. Any of the small departments. But we're working on it. Another thing, I didn't see it on the agenda, but I thought we had talked about putting it on the agenda for this meeting about allowing deputies to take their units outside of the county 75 miles or something like that.
Extension.
Yeah, an extension. And I didn't see it, I could have overlooked it, but I remember you guys telling us that it was going to be on this.
Chairman, Commissioners, Sharon, this will probably be an item that goes on the agenda when a new manager comes on board, just because of my capabilities in doing the research right now.
Okay.
But it should be on before the end of July.
It is something that I understand. I completely understand. It's something I think should, if it were possible for the commission to make a decision on that sooner. I don't know if the question is like how much it's gonna cost or how much, what the cost is per mileage and everything and wear and tear on the vehicles back and forth. But I think it is something that regardless of I don't know, I'm trying to think of the way to say it, but I think it's something that would be really important if we do want to keep full staff. It's really difficult.
The commission can consider that on the 9th, Sheriff.
Mr. Chairman, Sheriff Lee, is that Dodge Charger, is that big enough? It seemed like the jail would need like a van or like a.
I think they already do have a van. I don't know how good it works, but they do a lot of single person transports. So they take people to the hospital. They take, they do stuff around town. Sometimes single people to the prison and back. Just everyday duties. A lot of prisons do have cars for that. They use the gas. And stuff.
The older I get, it's harder to get in and out of those things. And is that true there in Palmadera that there was a fatal crash? It's been maybe 2-3 weeks or something, and a rollover or something, and the lady survived, but she was picking up her belongings on the highway and got hit by a car. Is that true?
There was an accident on I-2 by San Ignacio, and she did not drive. They rolled the vehicle, and they were fine after the initial crash, and then she was struck after that on the roadway.
And that was a runaway, whatever you call it?
It was handled by state police, so I couldn't tell you the rest of it. And as far as how they found anybody or not, what I've heard, I don't think they have.
And one other thing, so if whatever happens with the car, but wouldn't the other officers think that this one's getting more benefit than they are? If somebody uses a car to come to work 70 miles and this other deputy maybe just goes 15 miles.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the 15 say this guy's getting a better benefit?
Oh,
No.
not at all. That's not the.
Oh, my, yeah.
They appreciate.
I think, yeah, they appreciate having people to work on the shift, you know. I think they'd rather have people to work with rather than to work the shift by themselves.
What was the mileage you were looking at again, Sheriff?
Somewhere, I'd say 75 miles from the office, right? It doesn't even have to be 75 miles from the county line. Let's just say that encompasses less than this. You know, and maybe the very lower end of Albuquerque, but mostly up to Las Vegas.
Because I think you said you had 2 applicants from Las Vegas, but.
Yes, and we just hired one from Las Vegas, so that's gonna be, you know, questions, we're gonna get
That was
questions.
the question I was gonna ask is if that,
And
whole take the car 75 miles have a detrimental effect on your present staff.
no,
if we
absolutely
don't.
not. No, like I said, it's beneficial to be able to get people from.
Yeah.
And so, and the guys think the same way, they're like, yeah, what do we hire someone? And it's, in our experience, it's a lot better to find people that do have a little more experience, to come and work with us. Sometimes we can pull them from places like Bosque Farms or some places like that, that live a little further out. And so the guys are all for it. Again, it would be a positive rather than a negative.
And one other thing, you said veteran? Did you mean veteran like a veteran of war? Veteran?
No, a veteran officer, a
Yeah,
law enforcement
okay.
officer.
Yeah, in the police field.
Yeah, somebody who's been around 4 or 5 years, you know.
Okay.
I have a question, Sheriff. At the conference, the executive director, Joyce Esparza, and the attorney, Grace Phillips, I think you know her. He gave a presentation per county. This is a spreadsheet for all the counties, for all the positions, adult detention, the sheriff, and it shows the vacancy for each county, on how some counties are pretty low. I'm glad that you responded to this because there's some counties that no response. And like Grace said, in order for us to be able to help you, to be able to go to legislature, to get funds, we gotta show that there's a need, what the reason is. It's showing, like, in your department, it's showing that you have 12 deputies. Is that correct?
Let's see, we do have 12 now.
That's what it's showing here. Okay. She also presented the return to work, House Bill 236, on the positions that will be authorized coming in July. The detention officer, they can, if they retired from somewhere, they don't have to be a retired detention officer. They can be retired from some other county position. They can go work at the detention office. Emergency dispatcher, that's the other one. EMT, paramedics and firefighters, sheriff's deputies, and courthouse security officers. Those are the only positions now that were approved by the legislature and the governor. And it's only for 3 years. It's only for 3 years, but they must start at the entry level. They cannot come in as a captain or the head of that department. They don't want that to happen. They want, if you're retired, they want you to come in at the entry level of one of these positions. I'll leave this information with Sammy so she can provide it to you guys in the detention center and all the vacancies, what's going on.
I think around the state, everybody's hurting a little bit, and these fields, EMTs, law enforcement, corrections, detention.
Well, what I heard from the audience, because it was all the commissioners and managers that were in that meeting, from the managers and the commissioners, a lot of them said this ain't gonna work because the people that retired are not gonna come in at the entry level. They're not gonna want that. So we'll see. Right now, that's the only thing that's approved, and they're not gonna ask for anything else. The first year, the state will pay 100% of their salary, whatever it is. They were talking like 75,000 just on different positions. The next year, second year, they will pay 50%, and the county that hires these people will have to pay 50%. The third year, it's 25%. They'll pay 25%, and the county will have to pay 75%.
They have to return to work.
Yeah, and if they keep on passing after the 3 years, they can't work. They can only work 3 years. That's it. This will begin July 1st, and they can't work past July 1st, 2027. And the counties will be responsible to keep, if we do hire people, to track these people that come in that situation. So I'll leave this with Sammy, so she can, anybody that wants a copy, you guys can get a copy. For anybody. Today, this morning, when I was going to Albuquerque early, I saw one of your new trucks. They're beautiful trucks, man. Beautiful trucks. And I saw one coming back from Albuquerque. Nice trucks.
This morning?
This morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was coming from Magdalene at 6 Cheryl.
Oh, from Magdalene, yeah, James, that was Captain Nancy. That one's sharp, that's one of the nice.
Do they have a big old star on the door? I wish you'd put a big old star on the door. I wish you would.
We have gun smoke.
Oh, well, it just seems like you're the sheriff.
But thank you again for your generosity too, for helping. Oh, before I forget, Eddie's supposed to get with Sammy to get on the agenda, because in September, the drugs are going to change. So they might have to transport a lot more people that fall in that situation. So he's going to do a presentation. I told him to come and do a presentation to the commission because he's going to need more money to be able to do that. And it's a law.
What is that for again? I'm sorry.
It's people that are on Sebastian, and if they're incarcerated, they have to take them for that kind of medicine. And according to some of those detention officers who were there, Eddie asked me to go with him to that meeting. It was the detention directors and managers. And he said, some people get like 5 dosages a day, I guess, to wean them off the drugs. So they don't have the capabilities of doing it at the detention. They'll have to take them somewhere.
We're gonna need to buy a bus, not a car. for
That's
that,
why
because-
I think you need to talk to Eddie first before you decide on a car and see what he says. Because he said he's gonna give a presentation to let us know.
How do they get it now? What's the option? They're just changing it, they can't give it.
No, they can.
You
They
can't.
can. Some facilities have the capabilities of doing it. Or they take, like in Bernalillo, they're right there, they'll take them. They'll hire somebody under a contract to come and do it in the detention center.
So they have to travel too.
Is that a new
I don't
state
know.
law?
It's
I don't
gonna
know where they
go
get
into
that.
effect
I don't
in
know.
September.
I don't know.
Are they offering any,
Money for it.
any money for it?
Nope.
That's a burden that is unbelievable.
It's gonna be
Well,
costly.
he knows a little bit
Yeah,
more.
you ask,
Yeah, well, that's,
ask him.
And Chairman and Commissioners, he is doing a little bit of background research to see what resources we have in Socorro before he gives his presentation, but they're doing that data collection now.
Mr. Chairman, Attorney Nance, that lawsuit that we won with the counties, how many was there? About 4 counties? 5?
Opioid.
Yeah, can some of that money maybe be used, I don't know, to build a facility or handle, in a more economical way?
They're working on that very diligently right now with, that's absolutely, it's moving very quickly.
Put them to work.
Thank you,
Oh,
Cheryl.
you just ruined my day with that one.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, they're gonna funnel you some money. It's nothing.
Any more questions?
Well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Who's next? Tina.
Tina Gasumas from the Socorro County Community Alternatives Program. Good evening, everybody. Just quickly to speak to the opioid remediation grant that was just brought up. I was actually at a meeting this afternoon at 12 o'clock with that. There are, at the moment, we can't use it to build anything, which seems kind of ridiculous because with all the counties together, it's like $500 million or something over 18 years. So we are looking to see how we can assist the detention center because it acts pretty much as our detox right now. So there are injectables that are available. There are multiple varieties of ways that we can offer detainees rather than the transport. So I think what Eddie's required to do and what we are required to do as well as providers and organizations, we will get together and figure out moving forward. It will be trial and error initially, but we will all be working together because transporting individuals on a daily basis is kind of insane. So it's a lot easier to have somebody come down and have medical providers there on site. So I think Administrator Garcia is working on that as well. So right now it's kind of 52 pickup and we're just trying to figure out which pieces will work most efficiently, along with what the state is going to be requiring of detention centers and providers at the same time. So there's a lot of money and there's a lot of confusion. So providers we have plenty of here in Socorro. What we don't have is a methadone clinic. So currently, just so you understand what's happening now, if somebody comes into the detention center and has been on a medicated assisted treatment, we have to figure out how to provide that just like any other medication. If they come into the detention center and say, I want it, and they have not been on it, then we're not required to administer that currently. So, but yes, it will take until September for us to figure all of this out. So that's just the report on the opioid remediation grant, and Jackie Muncie is sort of helping the community organizers and all of us involved in it. And then Eddie, of course, is working with the state and the detention centers to figure something out. So quickly, I have 4 action items, but I'll wait for those. We have installed in our office a metal detector, just because, I mean, we haven't really had issues. We have had somebody come in with brass knuckles. You know, most people are like today, everybody was like, okay, I'm gonna run back to my car and, you know, give my knife to leave it in the car or whatever. So it's just to sort of make us feel better and be a little bit safer. It just dings all the time, which is making me kind of nuts. But other than that, everybody feels safer having the metal detector at the door. We currently have, of course, lots of DWIs coming down because because it's that time of year, as the sheriff spoke to. We are working with all the other agencies. It's the end of the year. It's lots of paperwork, as Sammy knows. So currently, it's just making sure that all of our contracts and paperwork is in order. We're hoping, DFA is requiring that we use stricter assessments and offer the court additional information on our DWIs, even though the laws may not require that, or they may not be able to follow through on that. But if God forbid somebody in our office was killed or did injure somebody or kill somebody, we have to now ensure, there's just a lot more paperwork, but the reality is hopefully this will assist in changing the laws again back to kind of where they were, to have more accountability. So it's a little bit more work for our compliance officers, but it's absolutely worth it. And for now, that's all I have to report until the action items, and I'm open for questions.
Jim,
Mr. Chairman, earlier today, like I was saying, in the back, I ran into 3 inmates. They were painting, that used to be an old feed store. It's a secondhand store. I think they were painting the wall. And Eddie was there, and he said that, if I'm not mistaken, that there were 3 of them, and somebody, and maybe all of them, had to do some type of work, like a resume or some kind of something, to access a grant money. And then at least one of those guys was going to wind up like with 2,000, 21, 2,200, something like that. And I think that's great that they have a chance, and to build some pride, and why not? If they did the work, why don't you need the pay,
Yes. We are very fortunate to have Miss Chelsea running. She received a grant called a beautification grant. And along with that, she also is Chelsea, I'm not sure if her last name is
Lyons.
Jones. Huh?
Lyons.
Lyons? Okay. So Chelsea Lyons received the beautification grant, and I think is also doing the literacy at the detention center. So we're very fortunate to have the opportunities to give education and to better the detainees who are willing to step up and do that. Yes, we're very fortunate. I'm not sure about what you're speaking of, but I wouldn't be surprised because she's really a go-getter.
Well, that's something new, because before, if they did something, I think it was the county that kept the money and gave them a little something. I don't remember.
Chairman, Commissioner, so previous programs were minor in comparison, I would say, through the county fair and issuing their artwork, and they did receive full proceeds from that. It just was minuscule in comparison with this program.
One other thing, you said that the money doesn't allow to purchase buildings or to build a facility. Can't you lease one?
Well, that's in the works as well. So one of the things that was brought up today was if we are allowed to maybe push and legislate for a detox, then that might be shared between Sierra, Catron, and Socorro County as a detox facility.
Right in the middle.
Sierra County has smaller motels that are independently owned, and they were able to lease and purchase hotels to offer transitional housing and to do some things like that. But here in Socorro, most of them, I think, are franchises. We've attempted but haven't had any luck with that here in Socorro County. A motel to offer transitional housing and some detox ability with the providers that we have would be very beneficial. But currently, there's still, folks in the hotels are still charging us full rate, so that would be, it wouldn't be, we don't have that kind of budget.
I bet you Quattro built you one. Listen.
Possibly. I don't know if there are any more questions.
I don't,
Thank
Did you
you.
go to that thing in Alamo today?
No, guys, Jason went. I was here doing reports, but Jason will be there for the next 2 days.
Would you mind giving us a report? Because it's for 2 days, no?
Yes,
I think that was gonna be very.
Yes,
I'm gonna try to
absolutely. I'll have him give a report at the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mary Rose, do you have a report?
On the agenda,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Art,
I'm sorry, Mary. Rosemary. It's been a long day for me.
Good evening, Commissioners, Chairman, Sammy. We finished our chip seals for this year. And, our chippers had it already, so it's gonna go on the line and put it up for auction, I guess. So we need to talk to Sammy about that. I'm gonna talk to her about it tomorrow morning. Already made it, but we did it.
Mr. Chairman, Art, how old is that machine?
I say it's about 20.
20? And like a modern today machine, are there like, I don't know, some type of laser, some kind of automatic? Do they take the same number of men to run?
Now, these new chippers are more advanced now. That you only need one person on that chipper. You don't need 2 or 3. And they come with 4-wheel drive. They practically drive themselves, really, but you know, it sets itself for the number of chips that a road's gonna need
You gotta have good equipment to do a good job, that's all I know. You got to.
anyway, it's paid itself off. Double, triple. It's already gone, so I'm just gonna put it on the line and put it up for auction. I'm gonna talk to Sammy about it.
So,
And everything else, we brought all the equipment in, and now we're gonna start cleaning cattle guards around the county, so. Maybe these roads, hopefully we get some more rain. That rain we got didn't affect any of the roads, it just sucked it up. No moisture underneath. But we're just putting the washboard and just doing the best we can.
With the chip seal, do you guys chip seal once a year?
Yes, once a year.
and I suppose a more modern machine would do more miles a day.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, do you have the other, I don't know what it takes, other equipment to match one of those new chippers?
Yes, yes.
I mean, you can
They
keep it
hitch up
going.
they hitch up the same way as we're hitching up to this other chipper, so.
No, but you have to haul chips, I guess, or I mean,
No,
you
we
have the
have,
trucks and everything.
Well, A1 hauls the chips and the base course, you know, they do all that.
I don't know what it needs. It's just that if this machine is so much faster, do you have the other equipment it takes to accommodate that faster machine? Can you stay up with it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
We're always asking a chip seal once a year, would it be more beneficial to lease? I don't know if you could.
Well, yeah, we can lease some, but if there's any breakdowns or anything, it's gonna cost us a lot more money. If there's any breakdowns, we have to be responsible for that.
They don't fix them when they're leased.
Yeah,
No.
No?
No, we're responsible for
Does that
them.
mean-
As soon as we drive it off the lot, we're responsible for all the breakdowns and everything on it.
Even a lease?
okay. Cause I mean, when they chip seal for a month, 2 months,
Sometimes, it depends. We're on the list. Sometimes they'll give us a week, and they'll have to move on to Chavez County or somewhere else, and then we'll come back in about a month or two, and then we'll start all over. We'll start all over again, so.
And Chairman, Commissioners,
ma'am.
the leases are covered under a warranty for the machine, but it doesn't cover replacement of parts to operate.
Yes.
Like the grader and its blade, we're responsible for replace. So parts like that, we would be responsible for.
Mr. Chairman, I forgot we have an expert over here. Hey, no, really, have you seen the county's machine?
I have not, no,
Well, it's 20 years,
well, that's a long time.
is it?
That ran its
It
course.
seems-
It's already run its course.
Yeah. Well, you're formally asking for that, then is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Where's Rosemary?
If I may,
Can you,
if I may, I know the former manager had put it on the ICIP as a request to Santa Fe for $450,000, I think. I think Sammy mentioned that to us at the last meeting. If that's what the commission wants to do, resubmit it for this coming legislature.
Chairman, Commissioner, sorry, the ICIP comes due in June, in July, so July 2nd, I have a prompt to get that on your meeting agenda, either the first or the second meeting in July. At that point, you can prioritize it to the top of your ICIP if you want to fund it that way, or you can either reorganize it that way or choose to pay it out of your cash.
Okay, and first of all, thank you, Art, for accepting my invitation. We're gonna meet on some of the stuff that we need, I wanna final before I turn out. But I make this recommendation to you, not only to you, but all the other departments. July the 10th, our new manager will be on board. What I recommend to you, Art, you're needing the chip box, you have told us you need pickups, you need this, you need that. I would make a list of all the equipment that you currently have, the year of that equipment, and how many miles. And present that to the new manager, telling him, this is what I'm gonna need, so you need to start thinking about it. So, because he's gonna come in blind, so he needs to know what the needs of your department is.
Yeah, I'll update them and everything that we need in our department.
Well, make sure it's a list that.
Yeah, I'll make a list of it.
And the other departments also that need vehicles, like some departments have called me that they need a car, they don't have a car, or whatever they need. I think that's the time for each department to write down their needs, equipment, employees, present it to the manager, because he's gonna be busy looking at everything, the budgets, and the way the commission can work on it little by little. That's what I would recommend.
could you pick John up and show him that machine? I want to hear what he says. No, really, I do.
There's that seen it, that is brothers, that's all.
My grandpa used to keep things for 40 years. I'm like, working up to
Yeah, but if you guys need anything, if you get any calls or anything, just give me a call and I'll take care of it as soon as I can. And we're gonna start cleaning out these arroyos, you know, that the monsoons are gonna be coming, usually in July, they usually rains in July 4th, so
And you have three blades?
we have four blades. Yes.
Did you happen to get the drain there at Gale Doors?
We're getting it tomorrow, and I actually brought that up, we just got work tips today. And
Okay.
I needed the guys out in the field.
Did you get a call about a stop sign on Newberry and Opusville?
You buried them. Right there by the trips.
Yeah, at the end, where they come together.
Okay.
I guess now there's people living out there. There's no,
Oh, okay.
there's no stop sign.
Yeah, the ones that go straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll take care of it tomorrow. Any questions? All right, Commissioner, thank you.
Thank you, Art.
Yes, sir. How are you doing, Commissioner?
I have a question. I heard that you're finishing chips in the right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is the process in regards to, I know chip seals the previous years, what is the process in regards to going back and some of these chip seals? I've had several calls in regards to, some of these, water drains and stuff like that. So, okay, do you go back and take a look at the place that you chip seal already, or how is it?
No, we go back and then, we let it settle down for about a week. And then we'll go back and sweep that. Oh, the previous years, yeah, we go back and we'll see if, how much, undercutting we get the monsoon, we get undercutting that road. And then we'll put it on the list and then we'll, chip seal again.
I get a call from one of the squirrel, and also, one, and, Alamo, well, in regards to, where what to do is have the road there. So, I think you say take a look at that.
Sure, I can go out there tomorrow and take a look at the one in Alamo and up in the northern part. Yeah, and I'll get the pictures and I'll send them over to you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jerry, do you have anything?
I'm gonna look, he's on the agenda.
Oh, another one I missed. Okay, next item is acknowledge managers report.
Chairman, Commissioners. So the last 2 weeks I've been working to configure our grants prior to year-end closing to make sure that we're not losing any expiring funds and that all our balances due are being paid prior to year-end. Right now we have courthouse cost overruns grant of $450,000 that expires at the end of this month. So I've been working very closely with the architect and contractor to make sure that we have billable services and materials before that grant expires, so that we don't lose any of those funds. I met with the Valley Sanitation regarding customer complaints to health and safety. I'm gonna start working with Mr. Labo on addressing those complaints to the satisfaction of our constituents, but within the program capability. I met with Dennis Engineering on the San Antonio drainage project. We're needing to resubmit to MRGCD for permitting to drain into their infrastructure and implement the necessary changes in order to proceed with the drainage project. So we'll begin working with them to coordinate that. I also met with Pattern Energy representatives who provided an update regarding the Swansea transmission line installation. They relayed that they have 98% of the pads graded, they have 60% of the structure set, and about 4% of the way on street. They did note availability for updates at future board meetings, and so manager on staff if that's something y'all are interested in. And then I also did work with Ms. Strick to kickstart response to Reno's evacuee relief issue reported on earlier. That was just a small cog in her chain. Other than that, it's been working on daily tasks as identified.
Commissioners,
The time clock, of the time clock.
They're still working on that. I believe they're most of the way complete with getting the time clock coordinated. We just have to figure out what time clock in method we're looking to use. And I think it's sitting in my hands right now on whether it's going to be carbon fingerprint or some other.
I think they, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they say facial recognition and fingerprint? Didn't we pay more for the better machine? I think we had a choice.
Okay. With that, it'll probably be fingerprint and I'll have to know and see it.
Is Tyler like a company? Is it like a method or what is it?
It's a software company. So we own the software that we purchased from them and they maintain it for us.
They seem awful slow.
It's just as technology progresses, we fall behind, so it takes
We
more
do,
extreme.
or they do.
We do. So it takes more extreme measures for us to catch up to their technology and for it to become up to date. So whereas larger entities that are able to maintain their software, they're compliant right away, whereas we have to update our servers and work through our local IT. Any other questions?
Maybe an update on the internet that's.
Yes, sir.
Do we a subscription to that software on a yearly basis?
We own the software, yes, sir, and then we pay a subscription to them to maintain the software that we purchased.
Okay, and how much is that subscription for the first year? Because it's been about a year, right?
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure because we have several modules, the treasurer, the assessor, and the manager, and within those different departments, there's several modules within that. So off the top of my head, I cannot say, but I did present it when we did the contract to move to cloud-based servers in one of our previous meetings. So I can get those figures for you from that.
Okay, thank you very much. Did we correct resolution 3839 in regards to the sign pages?
Yes, sir, we did.
Okay, and then another thing, I know we have a new manager coming in, so can you go ahead and redo the letterhead for everybody in regards to, everybody can keep, I want to use the upcoming letterhead with our new manager coming in.
Yes, sir, whenever we get him on board, we'll start updating all of the forms as they go out,
Okay,
or before they go out, I'm sorry.
okay, because, I would like to have that before you come on board. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions? And I want to thank you, Sammy, for this grant update that you gave us last meeting,
Yes, sir.
for all the grants that we have. I know we discussed the Alamo culverts and Three Tanks Road. We still haven't gotten approvals from the tribe at Window Rock.
Chairman, Commissioners, we did get the approvals, everything's good to go. I just spoke with Dennis Engineering Monday, and we're looking at going to bid for that project,
Oh, good. And we have until December of next year to spend that money?
2025.
Okay, that's 3.4 million.
Mr. Chairman, is it,
December 2021.
25.
is it reinstall the same thing that keeps failing, or are we gonna have a better one?
I don't know what they designed. haven't seen the design.
Chairman, Commissioners, it should be concrete structures, it's
Okay.
for the drainage, it's not the
Which
culverts
is
that wash
better.
it out.
That's why.
Could we have a schematic drawings of that, please, before we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
It's going to be a lake on that.
We're short $1 million.
So did you get a copy of this? You need a copy of that so you can see it. Thank you, Sammy.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's just it.
Okay, commissioners, acknowledge commissioners report. John.
Nothing right now, sir.
Okay. Joe.
I'd like to just have a question on my motion. I said Sammy, but that means the new manager, same thing.
Yes, the new manager.
And I think, I just need to add to Sammy's report that she left out that she's pretty sad that this is her next to last meeting as acting manager. But with that, I'm saying that she's happy that it's her next to last meeting. But I want to thank you for stepping up and keeping us going. So,
Commissioner Douglas.
And I want to thank you too. If some of you might have noticed, the river's taken a drastic, it's still running, but barely. There was some real Puerco mud, that I call it mud. It gets so thick sometimes that you can't use it. It renders everything useless. Sometimes, and most of the time, we're glad to see it. But it is going to rain. But if it doesn't, it's going to get hairy real quick. So if you need to irrigate Betty, Trent, somebody, you better get after it. Rosemary. That's all.
Okay. I have some stuff, but I'll prepare it for the next meeting. The only thing that I'd like to mention now is the board of directors for the associated counties. I will be off this board in December. And I recommend to the commission and the new commissioners coming in. It doesn't have to be a commissioner. It can be a clerk, it could be an elected official if the commission votes for that person. This is an important committee to be on because this tells you what's going on all 33 counties. And you have a voice, you'll be a voting member. So I recommend somebody gets on this. It's very important. Okay. The next item is public comment. Do we have any public comment? Yes, sir, come on.
Sir,
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Commissioner?
okay, I have a couple things.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner. Sorry.
Okay, so, first of all, I would like to concur with Lynn in regards to, or commissioners in regards to Sammy. I just want to say thank you very much. We really do appreciate you for walking in the treads of being a manager, interim manager. Thank you very much. And then also at the same time, having your full responsibilities on your end. So I really appreciate that, and I really commend you for that. Thank you very much. And then secondly, we need to take a look at some sort of system in terms of calling in or zooming in, because this is just frustrating. It's frustrating because I'm trying to listen in and whatnot. So it's just, we need to have something more, I mean, just like you said, in regards to, getting up with the program in regards to our modern technology.
Yes, sir, I agree for you. I've got bold letters at the top of my agenda saying to get that together for you. So I'll start working on that, so this is a little easier for you.
Yeah, because I know. This will be my scenario again in 2 weeks.
Okay, I'll definitely try to set it up for you to where we can do Zoom or something easier to navigate for this situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, under public comment, during this portion of our meeting, we welcome your suggestions and want to hear your concerns. This is not a question and answer period. Speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. The county commission is not able to take action on matters discussed during public comment. Speakers are requested to state their name for the record.
Thank you, commissioners. My name is Don Tripp III, and my wife is Gail. I want to expand a little bit on what she said. Was talking about the distribution of the donated items and such. The outpouring that this community has expressed towards Ruidoso with their donations and stuff. They filled Zimmerman Hall, and Solaro building, the north building was, there was a lot of stuff in there. Like she was saying, the Rosas family organized transportation for 22 pallets, I think is what she was saying. And of course she had me helping all through this, hauling pallets and doing whatever. Sunday, Gail and I were up there with the 4-H crew, and it was nice to get to show the kids how to properly stretch wrap a pallet, and get stuff organized, and get it on pallets. So Monday, Mr. Rosas could bring his crew in and haul it off, and he was going to provide a forklift. And I did 15 years in Albuquerque for all the live concerts at the amphitheater and the convention center, Dingley Coliseum, the big auto shows and stuff at the convention center. I was the lead forecop for a large majority of those 15 years. And I've had extensive experience in warehousing and forklift operation and such. And Mr. Rosas ended up having the city's backhoe with a fork attachment on the loader bucket actually ended up Monday morning loading the trucks. And that's a level of difficulty a little bit higher. I wasn't the op on that, but it makes it much more difficult. Because I didn't know that the backhoe was going to be there, but Sunday afternoon, I had staged, the National Guard agreed to transport 10 pallets of water for us. And they came in Sunday, and we already had it palletized, and no way to load it, so Gail arranged to have Leesburgs bring Dad's forklift from the storage units, and so Sunday I was able to load up the National Guard truck, and like I said, I staged a bunch of stuff to make the morning for Mr. Rosas easier. And this is where things went a little south. Come find out, the fire marshal decided that everything was in his way, and by the time Mr. Rosas and Gail got there to start loading this, he had pushed all of my staged pallets and pushed all of this into the corner, and to such a degree that it made it extremely difficult to get the pallets worked out. It was very, very disturbing to see an appointed county official like the fire marshal out of nothing but pure arrogance, because he thinks that that's his building and doesn't like that this is in his building, shoves it all into, it stacks it all into the corner of the building. I was very, very disgusted by that. It's very rarely have I seen anything from an appointed official so petty in a disaster relief donation rescue operation. It was frankly disgusting, commissioners, and I would appreciate it if going forward you all could look into that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other public comment, please? Of anyone? Okay, we'll go to the action items. Item A, consider DWI SCAP contract with Vanessa Garcia to provide counseling and case management services.
Yes, Chairman and Commissioners, I think you know and have heard how valuable Vanessa is as our detentions. Actually, she's like our detention center navigator when it comes to all the services and the Medicaid and just handling so much at the detention center. And we're just asking that you renew her contract so we can continue the good work and provide Eddie with a very valuable employee as well. Even though she's our employee, she really works there to assist in just the navigating of the day-to-day operations of the counseling and everything that's needed in transportation to treatment and everything that she does there. So we're just asking that you consider renewing her contract.
That is your recommendation?
Yes, sir, it is.
I make a motion to renew the contract.
What do you think, Sonny?
I agree.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Gonzalez, approved, second by Commissioner Rivas. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Commissioner Secretary. It is approved. The contract is approved. Item B, consideration of contract with Full Circle Recovery to provide treatment and wellness programming services for the Socorro County Community Alternative Program.
So this contract is through our DFA. It's called a detox grant, but it's really to offer very specific services for folks that are specifically alcohol-related treatment that's required. And so this is a contract that we had last year and we're reviewing this year. And they're very valuable not only to our program, but to multiple individuals here in the community. So they offer services for multiple individuals, but they are Medicaid billing for those. But along with all the other treatment providers here in Socorro County, Full Circle is one that specifically is targeted for us, but they also are valuable in the community as well. So I just ask that you consider renewing their contract as well.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Evans to approve, second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Afi. Item C, consideration of resolution 2024-38, acceptance of 2024-25 wildfire risk reduction grant of $100,000.
That's you, Jerry. Good afternoon. That's not me yet. I'm the next one.
Vanessa, would you make sure that the people that deserve the thanks that I gave for the inmates and their painting stuff, it gets to the right people? Okay.
Good evening, Commissioners. What you have before you is the New Mexico Association of Counties Wildfire Risk Reduction Grant. We applied again this year. We were looking up to receive a grant for $100,000 to continue our field break program there down in the Bocc Meeting area. We'll do another 102 acres that we'll work on to remasticate and spray to keep that area open. So we've got a good fire break about 1.5 miles north of Highway 380 to protect the structures from Highway 380 going north or from north towards the Highway 380. So what you have before you is a resolution for the grant, the 10% match, $100,000 match, $10,000. We utilize the Central Boston Task Force to make the $10,000 match. And
How many acres did you say?
102. The unfortunate thing happened.
And what are you trying to kill? The salt cedar? What is it?
Trying to establish a fire break with from the salt cedars, yes.
Salt cedar. Is that beetle? You know, they released a beetle that was supposed to kill them.
Didn't work down there.
It didn't work, did it?
No, sir.
I think that's where my chili went.
And we've got a really good fire break, field break established in there. It's on a conservation easement in that area. And so it'll be able to be maintained. So it's a really well worthwhile. This will probably be our last project in that area. And we'll try to move further north.
It's 10 cents on the dollar, you said. It's 10 cents on the dollar, you said 10%.
Yes, sir. It's a good program. We've been very fortunate to be able to get it for the last several years.
Yes.
And you've been able to, so when you have a resolution there, you have the terms of agreement.
So I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Nuggets,
Yeah, to approve.
second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Resolution 2024-38, acceptance of 2024-25 wildfire risk reduction grant for $100,000 is approved. Jerry, I'd like to make a comment. You can pass this on, but since we've had all these fires, and now the one that we had in Ruidoso, horrible fire. You've been to Ruidoso, all the trees and everything. Well, we have a similar situation in Hop Canyon.
Yes, sir.
And if there's a fire there, I can guarantee you it'll burn everything in there. Because I know you guys have done fuel reduction in there also.
Yes, sir.
But still, it is, there's a lot more that needs to be done there. The escape route, I haven't gone to go look at it, but we need to look at that. Because that escape route, if there's a fire coming from the bottom, that's the only way to get out of it. And if it's on the top, if they don't make it to there, and if it's washed out, I need to find out who is responsible to check that road once in a while. I don't know if it's the Forest Service, or is it the county, or is it the local residents?
One time it was discussed with the county would like maintain it once a year, just to kind of take the rough edge off of it, so it'd be passable. I don't think they've been happening. It's happened in a while. It's been a while since it's been looked at. There's been some issues about the one end of it goes on to private property, and there's some issues about that that we raised. Something we take a look at again and address for certain things with the county. Because like you said, it is a one-way in, one-way out situation up there. And I've driven that escape route one time. Unless you know where it's at, you can miss it, get lost there real easy, and get trapped in there.
Yes.
And so it's gotta be well marked and identified so that it can be easy to count, especially if you have a smoky situation. And you probably would most likely have a fire up in, you probably have that situation when you difficult to find. It is a situation that needs to be addressed.
Okay. With the permission of the commission, Art's supposed to go up there on the 8th. And you, Sammy, I'm gonna have him go up there with me and we'll check that road and I'll bring a recommendation to the commission. Because we no longer have the fire department there in Hump Canyon. Now it belongs to the village of Magdalena. I don't know, I need to talk to the mayor and see if he's got any volunteer firefighters. If he hasn't, that was part of the problem. The county let it go because we couldn't get no volunteers to keep it going. Most of the people that live out there are elderly, and the ones that were there either died or they got out of it. So if nobody's there, that's another issue, to be able to attack a fire there pretty quick. So,
Mr. Chairman, I'm not gonna let this go by without saying it. You know, if they would let somebody like Nance and his cows graze, if they would cut that mature timber down, the grass will grow back, the trees will grow back, and it'll be much safer. I mean, not in their yards, but out in the forest or wherever these woods are. Really, I mean, it's crazy that we don't, it's just crazy.
Saying.
Well, it is, the cattle will eat that tamarisk when it's a seedling, they'll eat it.
Well, that's one of the area things down in the Bocc Seal area that we are looking at right now. We're going to try to utilize some goats and a couple of areas. And they say they eat anything and everything.
They have to throw them off your bumper.
They're going to be under a controlled situation. Just going to be able to do a small couple spot. And look at that and see if that's a feasible. A lot of areas up north, they've utilized that and it's been very successful. It is, again, no matter
I
what
still
you
like
look at,
the
it's a
cow.
costly situation. Costs money.
thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, item D, consideration of resolution 2024-39, acceptance of 2024-2025 wildfire risk reduction grant of $25,000.
So this grant in front of you is for the CWPP plan, which is the Community Wildfire Protection Plan. It's a document that we maintain. It identifies the wildland urban interfaces where we have populations that interface with the Forest Service and helps create information where the community can look at it and our Forest Office can look at it and help identify fire rights communities that can be created and help with people when they're building in those areas to know the clearing of all the brush and everything around their houses to keep it clear so the fire don't go right up against it. So this grant is for a contractor to do It's been 5 years since it's been updated. We did a minimal update a few years ago, which I don't know if you guys remember, we set up in front of the commission chamber in the foyer out there and got public signatures. And so this needs to be a massive update where we actually review all those wildland urban interfaces, get new maps developed, make sure we have all the houses.
Excuse me, Gail. Could you turn that volume up just a little bit and just give me the high spot, you know? But well, that's a good deal, no? So,
It doesn't include Bocc Meeting, so.
It does include Bocc. There are projects that can be.
Second that.
Motion by Commissioner Aguilar, to approve, second by Commissioner Gonzalez. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, resolution 2024-39, acceptance of 2024-2025 wildfire risk reduction grant of $25,000 is approved. Item E, consider resolution 2024-40, Open Meetings Act revised. I requested this to be on the agenda, Commissioners, and it came to the request because all the departments except one asked if we could change it, not just the departments, but employees. If we could change our commission times to 10 in the morning. At 5, by then, most of the employees are off, and they're tired, and they have other things to do. I mentioned about one of the meetings we had it at 5 for the public comment. And most of the people that, when I told them that, they said, well, if there's an issue with the residents, it doesn't matter what time you have the commissions, they will come. If it's 10 or 5, they'll come. So.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, we hear voices, they do that right now.
So, I asked for it to be on the agenda, Commissioners. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm recommending that we change it to 10. Or, like now, when the meetings are long, everybody's tired, everybody's ready to go home. So that's my recommendation, that we change it to 10. And I ask for any comments from you, Commissioners. How do you guys feel?
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, go ahead.
Just one. Because I remember the last meeting was, one of the recommendations last meeting was 10 and 5. So what's the recommendation right now?
Commissioner Higgins?
Can I just, I want to say something and then make a motion. So we've had it like at 10, one meeting, the next meeting at 5, I believe. We've had them all at 5, we've had them all at 10. I don't know, it seems like we do a lot of jumping around, but I think it's worth something to stay consistent. Like, I want to make a motion for 10 a.m., both meetings that we have a month. And I hope that does it. Like, yeah, we can't keep bouncing around. I know the employees get a little grouchy by this time of the day too. It's dark in the winter. We moved it because we had, I think, 1 or 2 people ask, oh, they never came back, you know? So 10 a.m., both meetings, that's my motion.
Any other comments from the other commissioners?
He's made a motion, right?
So,
Okay, then,
Can I make a comment until there's action on the motion? Okay, with that being said, I believe in consistency too, okay? And I guess the history was leading up to this meeting that we were going to consider changing one of the meetings to 10, 11, and 5. And then Mr. Duggan made his comments about keep them both the same. I get that. And the next comment, I hope that, I think we've been very supportive of the employees. But as a former employer, it seems that whether it's the commission, the owner of McDonald's, or the owner of a farm, or the owner of a construction company, they base on what they're gonna do for their work week on what the employees say, whether I'm gonna come to work, whether I'm not. So what I'm trying to say is, not in a disrespectful to our employees, for the most part, I think we have good employees. At some point, the employer should have to say so. That's how I was raised, that's how I worked my whole life. And I'm not just speaking to, I'm speaking to the society in general. You know, I hate to say it, you know, in the construction field, you have a schedule to keep, and come Monday morning, you can't even tell your customers sometime what you're gonna do for that week, because you're like, I don't know who's gonna show up. And that's very unfortunate, okay? So that's just me on the soapbox of, get up our butts and go to work, okay? But as far as the commission is concerned, just like now, Mr. Zacatero can't be here, and for just reasons, you know, he's got a family and so forth. But it's very frustrating, like as he stated in his own words, to carry on county business as we've been trying to do with him on the phone and stuff. And I'll always say that I have the luxury that I'm officially finally retired, but there is other people that aren't retired that sit on this commission, that it is a burden for them to lose time and possibly earnings from their employment. And, you know, like you can say, shame on you, you know what you were getting into, you're elected, blah, blah, I get that, okay? So with that being said, that's all I'm gonna say, and then we'll see what happens with Mr. Duggan's motion.
Do you have anything to say, Commissioner? Yeah. You're one of the new ones that,
You'll do another 2 years. In reference to that, I see where both are coming from, as far as Mr. Duggan and Mr. Gonzalez, and in a way I do agree with Joe as well. That's what he said. I mean, and it is, you know, I know I took this position to, you know, help our constituents and whatnot, but I try to be as much as many times as I can, and I try not to miss. And you know, it's a tough thing both ways. So you know, we'll see where it goes.
do you have anything, Commissioner Secretary?
Okay, I kind of heard that, when it's Lindsay.
Commissioner Duggan says that he recommends for consistency, he'd like to have them at 10 o'clock each, hopefully.
But Mr. Chairman, after thinking about it and hearing that, you know what? The motion has not been seconded, and I withdraw my motion to change it. Just leave it as it is. Well, we don't need to just kill it. Kill my motion, you know?
Yeah.
So right now, the motion is to keep it the way it is.
Well, that's what would happen.
Wait a minute.
There is no motion on the table. So either you need to call, either another motion will be made, and if nothing is done, then it will remain the same.
Okay. Commissioner Duggins withdrew his motion. So there's no motion. I asked the fellow commissioners, do you have another motion to present to the commission?
Mr. Martinez, if it would help, you think 3 o'clock, at least one meeting at 3 would help?
I don't know.
I was waiting to see what's gonna happen with his motion. And since his motion died, I think this is common, this is just an opportunity to, I guess we're like negotiating here, I don't know what to say. But anyway, basically my motion would be to keep one meeting at 5 o'clock. That speaks to the employer has a right to to run his business how he feels fit, you know. And the second one, thinking of the employees at Fort would be to have one at 3 o'clock. That way, and to the other commissioners that have a job that, you know, they can at least get in we're a business, they can get a half a day's worth of work before they have to come to a commission meeting. And when I say have to come, I don't mean it like it's a burden. I just trying to accommodate all the parties involved, and we have some happy meetings where everybody's giving a little, I guess. And I understand the consistency of the same time, but at this point, that's my motion.
Commissioner, just
Five,
to
one, and two.
clarify, would you please state which one at 5, the first meeting or the second meeting, and the other 3?
Recording. And with that, speaking to the employees, I don't know how it's in the rules. The department directors, I'm okay with getting a report once a month instead of every 2 weeks myself. So if that would alleviate the employees' part, that the directors that come and give reports, the employees that have to be here, other than the clerk's office, because by statute they have to, then they just do their reports at the earlier meeting, at the 3 o'clock meeting. So the 3 o'clock meeting, since it's 3 years before 5, it would be the first Tuesday of the month. See how simple I am? That's how I think. And then the 5 o'clock meeting would be the second meeting of the month, with the directors giving their reports on the first meeting. That's my motion.
Craig, get that?
Did you hear Commissioner Secretarial?
No, it was, I don't know, the name of the speaker, like I said, I can go.
Okay, let me give it, oh,
I can restate it if you want.
yeah.
Craig, this is Joe. I made the motion that we have the 2 meetings, of course, always. The first Tuesday would be at 3 o'clock with the directors giving their reports at that meeting. And then the second meeting would be at 5 o'clock. That's it in a nutshell. Yeah. So it would be, yeah. And that kind of speaking to, like yourself, that you're not missing so much work, or if you have a business and it just gives you a half a day instead of a full day that you have to miss work. Because 10 o'clock, you basically miss the whole day, I would think. And speaking to the employees that have to come here to after hours, that they, between 3 and 5, I guess we could change the agenda so that they're at the top of the list, so they get their meeting, they're out of the way, and they can go home before 5 o'clock. That's, yeah.
I really like that idea. I know, Jeff tried very hard because, in terms of, get a certain amount of leave, and yes, I didn't sign up to do a job, but in regards to, we can probably work with that. Only on one stipulation. Those reports have to be, reports and all the directors that come up with reports once a month. For it to be very thorough and to cover all bases in regards to the programs.
Okay. So I made a motion, we'll see where it goes.
Okay, the motion by Commissioner Gonzalez to have the first meeting at 3 and the second meeting at 5. And Commissioner Secretarial, with the condition that all departments that turn in written reports, that they be thorough. There's a motion on.
Yes, all including the road department.
Including the road department, he said. Okay,
Second.
okay, second by Commissioner Secretarial. Okay, now I'll make a comment. I listened to all the sides and I'll make this comment. Well, I'll hold back on my comments because I'm almost out of this commission, so it'll be a new one, so we'll go from there. I would like a roll call vote for motion on the table in the second. Okay.
Commissioner Aguilar. Vice Chair Secretarial.
Did you hear Commissioner Vice Secretary?
Is it roll call?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't even hear her. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Duggins.
No.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Yes.
And Chair Martinez.
I will vote no also. Thank you. The motion has passed. The new commission meetings will be at 3. Second will be at 5. Thank you. Okay, we go to item F, approval and acceptance of funds for 2024 recovery communities in the amount of $2,000.
Good evening again, Chair and Commissioners. Yes, this is our annual funding that is received from recovery communities held by and supported by the Office of Peer Support and Recovery Communities statewide. So that means that this $2,000 goes to a September is National Recovery Month. So every year in September, for the last, 10 or 12 years, we've had an event here, like a recovery powwow or recovery event. And this money that Jason Frame, our peer support specialist at the office, applied for, and we've been very fortunate that on an annual basis, we've received the funding to assist in holding a day-long event for our recovery community. So it's just approval for us to accept the money.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make the motion that we
Approve the 2,000.
approve the $2,000, yes. Sir.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins to approve, second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. The consideration of MOU between the Socorro Police Department and the Socorro County DWI program for law enforcement supplemental services.
Yes, Chair and Commissioners, once again, law enforcement participation for our grants is vital. And so we would like to have an MOU for the police department to assist us when.
Oh, wait a second.
Okay. Sorry, Commissioner Secretary, I hope you can hear me now. So the MOU is with the police department for up to $15,000 of overtime. Our grants require that we have support from our police department just for safety and stops and DWI stops and saturation points and home visits and things. And so it's only for overtime funding. So we would like your approval to have an MOU with the Socorro Police Department.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
No, Commissioner Secretary, no, we do not have currently one with the police department. We have one with the sheriff that needs to be reviewed next in item H. So currently I'm asking for item G is for the police department.
And Mike, before I ask for the second, they can only do this in the city limits, correct?
Yes, it's only for city limits and assisting us with warrant roundups and things within the city limits. Yes, the police department is only city limits.
Okay.
Currently.
Motion by Commissioner Gonzalez to approve.
I thought I seconded.
Okay, that's okay. Second by Commissioner Duggins. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is approved.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one is Consider MOU between the Socorro County Sheriff's Office and Socorro County DWI program for law enforcement supplemental services.
Yes, so this is similar to the MOU with the city police, except this is the sheriff. And of course, with the sheriff, then we're allowed to go into the county and continue any overtime that might be needed within our office and whatever the sheriff deems appropriate for overtime that assists us. And hopefully that will mean continued services and more patrolling of Alamo like we were doing previously. So we would like to suggest approval for this as well.
And that amount would be how much?
The same amount, up to 15,000, yes.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Aguilar to approve.
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Gonzalez. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it is approved.
Okay, thank you very much, and I'd like to call it an evening if that's appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you. Item I, acknowledge personnel changes. Yeah. Who would like to take that up?
I'll go with that. I'd like to make a motion to approve the personnel changes as presented, which is Chad Whitson, Deputy 3, new hire, new salary, $20.83 an hour. Effective date 6/16/2025.
A motion by Commissioner Gonzalez to accept the personnel changes. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The personnel changes are acknowledged by the commission. Thank you. Financial action items A and B. We've always approved both of those at the same time. Who would like to take care of that?
I would like to make a motion to approve the payroll and Sammy's gonna chime in on the voucher at the same time. Payroll in the amount of, dated May 16th, in the amount of $284,277.65.
And then vendor checks in the amount of $2,949,984.26. And then also a disclaimer that we are closing out many projects right now, and the majority of those are going to be for your grant construction. And they all been validated and verified.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Gonzalez with input from our interim manager. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Item A and item B, approval of vendors checks and payroll checks is approved. Okay, item C. Approval of consent for county treasurer to invest funds in the local government investment pool. Do we go?
You'll need a motion to convene as the County Board of Finance, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I need a motion to convene as a county board of finance.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gonzalez, second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are convened as a county board of finance. To approve consent of county treasurer to invest funds in the local government invested pool.
And Chairman, Commissioners, before Rosemary proceeds, she's a victim of my short-term memory. So she has this today, but if you need any information from me, please let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, give me, let me pick it up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What I printed out here is, on 6/11 is what we discussed
That's what we had in the general fund, that was the balance. And that was including that NMDOT LPF deposit for the 2.2 million. And that left, well, Sammy had talked about maybe keeping it in the general fund for the use of that program. And so we had a balance $7,819,437.80. We had, since then, we've had debit in the amount of $1,971,733.56. That left the balance $5,847,704.24. We have those two pending ACHs, which will come out. One will come out tomorrow and one the following day. So our balance in the bank as of today was $8,095,204.24. So I am recommending that we transfer or move the money into the LGIP 2.2 million, and we can keep that at the 5.5 that you guys had originally requested that we keep in the general fund.
I'll make that motion.
That's what we had agreed on, right?
Yeah. I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Duggan, second by Commissioner Gonzalez. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, please approve with your recommendation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, President.
Thanks
And I'd like to add too that we've got the PTD here, and they're doing their assessments on the delinquent taxes. So they'll be here 6 weeks. And that's to get ready for their auction of delinquent accounts.
Who did you say, PD?
Property tax division.
Oh, property tax.
Santa Fe
Yeah.
is coming. That's not good.
Did we ever find out why the numbers didn't match between what you were reporting, whatever report she had?
Because they report for the current year. So right now, I think we were at 86. So that's what's gonna go for 2023, that's what's gonna go to PTD and DFA. So, like I explained, when I send out bills, and you've got all these delinquent taxes, so you come in and pay, it's gonna go to the yeah, so like the ones that were low, the 20, 21, and 22, those are at 97%. But our 23, people didn't pay their 23 taxes, so it's going to be low again. And Julie and I talked about it, and she said it's always been at that percentage.
Okay. Any other questions, commissioners? Thank you, Rosemary.
Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion to reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Gonzalez, second by Commissioner Duggan. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, we reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners. In now executive session. Need a motion and roll call vote to go into executive session. And pursuant to New Mexico State Statute, Section 10-15-1, only the following matters will be discussed in closed session. A, pending or threatening litigation. I, Stephen Grego versus the City of Socorro. Okay, motion by Commissioner Aguilar.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gonzalez. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Aguilar.
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Chair Secretarial.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Duggins.
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Yes.
Chair Martinez.
Yes, ma'am. We are now in executive session. Did you do that?
Yeah, I did.
That was my copy, man.
Me was what, I know it was. I started looking at it. I assumed ownership, you know? Did you see, did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Ojos cuadrados.
Jerry Craig.
Jerry Craig.
Craig in your pocket.
That'd be good. That comes either can't get so hot you can't fight it. And you know what? It did work on it, but it didn't work. But the studies of the water, they don't do that. You know that one that they won't, you only see that. They can even. Now, Betty, you better turn the water on, will you?
Joe is watering today.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was muddy at my house, it just came in.
Should I just, does she pause it?
Maybe she just turned it off.